Welcome back, everyone. This is Dan Rabari from iBooks Accounting. This is the video number 3 in our stimulus package series. And today we're going to discuss about accessing your super early as allowed by the new stimulus measures announced by the government. And we're going to discuss more about those. In particular, what are the eligibility criteria? What are the requirements? How you can apply for it? And few questions like that will be answered in today's video. So let's have a look on that. So as I mentioned, it is the video number 3 in our stimulus package series. And this video is mainly on early access to your superannuation. So far we have released the videos on JobKeeper payment. Obviously, that is yet to be legislated via Parliament. Most likely, the expected Parliament sitting is on this Wednesday. So hopefully, that will get through the Parliament and become legislation, and we'll have more clarity on how people will be able to access the JobKeeper payments through their employers. We also discussed about Queensland government loan support in the video number 2. And today we're going to discuss about early release of super, and for future videos will also be on cash flow boost and instant asset write-off, job seeker payment, and varying your PAYG tax installments and things like that. So today's focus purely is early access to superannuation. Let's see how you can do it. So it is for the individuals who are affected by the coronavirus pandemic. And it is up to $10,000 of accessing their superannuation in 2020 financial years, and further $10,000 in 21. So that's 1st July 2020 to 30 June 2021 financial year. So that is in total up to $20,000 individual will be able to access. Obviously, you need to have that much balance in your super. It is not the extra funding by the government. It's actually just accessing your own super account, which means if you have enough money in your super, you will be able to access up to 20. If you don't, you probably will be able to access the available balance in your super. The release application will start from 20 of April 2020 as per the ATO website and the Treasury website as well. And there are few things to consider in terms of eligibility criteria and things like that to access it. Now, when you say 2020 financial year and 2021, there's a particular dates they have mentioned, interestingly, $10,000 for application before 1st July 2020. And the remaining $10,000, that's a further $10,000, I should say, will be from 1st July 2020 until 24th September 2020. So you don't wait till December and saying, well, I need money. If you need money, you need to apply between those dates, particularly for 2021 financial year, which is up to 24th September. For 2021, it will be 20 April till the financial year ends. And the main purpose for this video as well, because we had plenty of phone calls from many international students who come to us for tax returns every year. And there were many phone calls about whether they will be able to access these measures or not. So interestingly, as announced by the acting immigration minister yesterday, there was a couple of interesting facts came in front of us. And they were mentioning about the students who arrived in Australia within last 1 year. So they are in their first year of arrival. They haven't been here for more than 1 year. The expectation from the government is that because they declare during their process of the student visa, they have funds to support them for first 12 months, funds to support their the fees for the university for first 12 months. So because of that, the early access is not available, as I understood from the announcement yesterday, that it cannot be accessed by the students in their first year of arrival. So they haven't been here for more than 1 year, highly likely that you will not be able to access it. For all the other students who have been in their second or subsequent years of arrival, so if you have been here for more than 1 year, and if you are meeting the eligibility criteria to access the super funds, then yes, you will be able to access if you satisfy that eligibility criteria I'm going to discuss in a minute. And that also applies to students who are working on a TFN job on hourly basis, or they are working as sole traders as a subcontractor somewhere, like driving Uber or driving Uber Eats or driving Didi or Ola, and all different sort of jobs you might be doing. So let's talk about what are the eligibility criteria to access this. So requirements, it is one of the following. It's not you have to meet all these dot points. If you are eligible or if you meet the criteria for one of them, you will become eligible to access it early. So first one is quite easy. If you don't have a job, if you are unemployed, then it becomes easier. You just have to confirm that by yourself. If you are eligible to receive a job seeker payment or a youth allowance for job seekers, any of the parenting payments such as single or partner payments, any special benefit or farm household allowances, you will be eligible to apply for that. There are a couple of more to include, which is in the next slide. The main one is on or after 1st January 2020. So it is not from the date the government has announced this package. It is from the 1st January 2020. So the first, when everyone is aware of when the coronavirus started. So effectively it's from 1st January. If you were made redundant, so if you lost your job for whatsoever reason, and that is proven by the records that you got a letter from your employer or any proof that you have stopped working there. So if you made redundant, your working hours has been reduced by more than 20%. So if you're working 40 hours earlier, now if you're only working 20 hours, then obviously your hours has gone down by more than 20%. Then you will be eligible. Or if you're a sole trader, so if you're working on your ABN as a subcontractor, if you're driving Uber or if you're driving Ola, Uber Eats, and if you're doing working as a cleaning subcontractor, so any of those, or even further, like any of the people working in the construction industry, sole traders in any industry, in any capacity, if their business has been suspended, so they close the business because they could not sustain, or there were like substantial reductions in their income or turnover, I should say, that is 20% or more, then you will become eligible. You will become eligible to access this superannuation through the MyGov. Now, what are the implications? The good news is there's no tax on the amounts released. Normally, if you access your super for whatsoever reason, like if you're going overseas permanently, being on a temporary visa, there's a tax on it. If you going through a hard time financially or going through a terminal illness, there's many of those cases. Normally, the access to your super is taxed, but in this case, because of the coronavirus pandemic, there's no tax on that. Another main point to note is this money will not affect your Centrelink or Veteran Affairs payments, so it will not be included as income while considering or calculating your eligibility criteria for those payments you receive in Centrelink. So that will not affect. It is tax-free payment, and it is not affecting your Centrelink or any other entitlement as well, which is a great thing because normally people might be just so close of losing the Centrelink because their income is just below the threshold, and if this were to include it in there, then people will be losing their other payments. So they don't want to cause that. That's probably the reason why they have made it clear that no tax, and obviously it will not affect your criteria for Centrelink or other payments. Any other implications to consider? One major part is if you have income protection insurance or life insurance or total permanent disability insurance covered through your super, it may affect that because obviously you need to have enough super in it, if a super balance in it, to be able to pay for those insurance premiums. And because of the rules, if it is your account is fully withdrawn, there's no super, or your super balance is below $6,000, the insurance will not be or may not be available on those accounts. So just have to be mindful on that. And obviously, we're not a financial planner, so we can't give you advice on that. So you should consider seeking financial advice before finalizing your application. Mainly how much insurance you would know and things like that. You want to talk to your financial advisor on that. Timing, the early release applications will be available through MyGov from 20th of April 2020. That's for the recent guidelines on the ATO and the Treasury website as well. How to apply? Obviously, the application will be accepted through MyGov from 20 April 2020. So that'll be, I'm hoping there'll be a simple application process there on MyGov, and you just need to register your interest now, though, by logging into your MyGov account. So if you haven't done that already, please do that. Log into your MyGov account, and at the top you will see orange color COVID-19 stimulus support ribbon. You want to click on that and accept that you will be affected, or you are hoping or you're expected to get affected by COVID-19 crisis, and just express your interest. So they will consider you to be eligible or not. That is the following process. But at the moment, just go into your MyGov, apply on that orange color ribbon if you haven't done that already. And also you need to follow the instruction to access coronavirus support instructions, which will, again, it is on MyGov on that orange color ribbon I'm talking about. If you have not registered for MyGov already, please do that by selecting create account on the MyGov website. So you can search MyGov Australia in Google. I think it's one of the first few links there, which is my.gov.au. So just go there and register if you haven't already, because without MyGov account, you will not be able to apply. How to apply? The Australian Taxation Office will notify you by email or SMS when the application is open. So once you register your interest, you will receive some sort of application or notification on your MyGov ATO application if you have on your mobile, or email from them confirming that the applications are now open. So you should log in and apply online on MyGov. So we got a couple of examples to discuss as well. So just to give you more clarity on how it works. First one is John is a sole trader with a coffee shop business in Brisbane. At the end of July 2020, John seeks to apply for an early release from his superannuation from 2021 financial year. So due to the economic effects of the coronavirus, John's turnover from July is $10,000, which was compared to $20,000 on average per month for the second half of 2020. So it's pretty much comparable period last year, or the similar period last year. If his average turnover was $20,000 and now it's $10,000, obviously there's a substantial reduction there. And John therefore determines that his turnover was reduced by more than 20% compared to his average turnover over the last 6 months of 2019. John self-satisfied or certifies that he is eligible for early release and applies to have 10,000 release from his super, which is which confirms that it is self-certification. So in the process of applications, most of the time you will not be expected to submit any documents. It's based on the self-certification. But same time, you are expected to have proofs and documents and supporting evidence to confirm that yes, there is a substantial 20% or more reductions in your turnover. You can't just go apply, even though your business has grown or has not affected 20% or more in turnover by the coronavirus pandemic. Just have to be a bit mindful on that. And at the same time, I will also draw your attention to, if you receive any SMS or emails confirming that, from scammers, because scammers tends to get active during this time. You might receive some SMS and emails from scammers saying, you click on the link to apply. Don't click on those links. The process is clearly stipulated by ATO that you will receive an SMS to remind you that the applications are open, but you still have to log into MyGov by visiting the website and logging in. There will not be any links in the SMS or email to click here, because that will trigger many scammers become active. So please avoid clicking on those links. So if you receive on email or in the SMS, simply go and log into MyGov and apply online there. Let's move on to the example number 2, where the guy called Ed, he's working in a bar in Brisbane. Due to COVID-19, Ed had his work hours reduced from 40 hours to average of 20 hours on average in May. As a result, Ed determines that his hours over last month have reduced more than 20% compared to average hours over last 6 months of 2019. He decides to apply for early release of 8,000 of his superannuation. Please note the amount, 8,000. He was entitled for $10,000, but he only applied for 8,000, thinking that I will only need $8,000 to survive during this period. So you can do so as well. So you don't have to take 10,000. You can submit the amounts, I think, from understanding that how much you want to access. Now, problem with that though is, once you get that $8,000, once Ed gets this $8,000, and if he thinks, oh, I might need more, then for this financial year, that particular financial year which you receive $8,000, you will not be able to apply again to access more fund or remaining $2,000 to make it to up to $10,000. No, you won't be able to do that. It's only one application for one financial year. So if you think 10,000 needed, go for $10,000. Obviously, that is subject to you having enough balance in your super account as well. So Ed decided to apply for early release of 8,000 of his superannuation in May 2020. He also self-certified that he is eligible for early release on MyGov. Ed cannot seek any further early release, as I mentioned, in 2020, on the ground that he has been affected of adverse economic effects of the coronavirus, because he already made one application for $8,000. He cannot apply for another, obviously remaining $2,000 to make it to $10,000. So it says up to $10,000. If you think you might need $10,000, I would say go for $10,000, because you won't be able to apply again for the same financial year. So again, going further on that example and the information I just spoke about, he will be able to apply again for next financial year though. For 2021 financial year, he realized that his income is gone by, his hours are reduced by 20% or more, and he decides to make a second application. He self-certifies again through MyGov and he's eligible. Then he will get he can apply for another $10,000 of superannuation. On each application, the ATO will approve Ed's early release, considering he's meeting the eligibility criteria, and notifies both him and his superannuation fund. Ed has received a total of $18,000 of his superannuation in 2 separate payments. He will not be taxed on these payments and free to spend this money on anything he chooses or save it for future expenses. He is also free to recontribute any unused amount to his superannuation in future within the contribution caps. Now, on that point, particularly recontributing that, so it clearly mentions about recontributing of any unused amount. So now we have seen many accountants or advisors and many actually other organizations putting information and claiming that there is a tax hack available. So they were advising their customer to withdraw the $10,000, and then next day or whenever, they're asking them to recontribute to claim the deductions for personal contribution. So effectively saving a lot of tax. Please be mindful on what you're doing there, because ATO and everyone is aware of it. You don't want to be part of a scheme to save tax. If you have a genuine reason that you are affected, you withdraw that to just in case you want to support if the crisis hits you. That's fine, you should do it. And let's say this 6 months later, when this coronavirus pandemic is over and you have still got funds unused, whether it's all or some, you can recontribute. You're welcome to recontribute that again and claim the deduction for your super in your tax. That's fine. But if you're deliberately doing it to claim the tax advantage as such, withdrawing now today and 2 days later or a week later, you are recontributing. That will probably trigger some sort of some sort of reckoning from ATO as well. I think it's just my view, but just be mindful on what you're doing. Don't do it just for sake of tax saving and running a scheme. If you genuinely need it, you should do it. Obviously, this information, as for the previous videos as well, it's only designed for informational purpose only. It is not intended to provide any tax, legal, or accounting advice, and you should not rely on it for that. We suggest consulting your own tax, legal, or accounting advisor before engaging in any transactions. If you need help understanding this, feel free to contact us as well. We are happy to help as always. We also have something called stimulus package membership, which costs one-off $250, including GST, for this period of coronavirus pandemic. What it does is it gets you personalized analysis on your eligible payments. So whatever payments you're eligible for, whether it's a job seeker, job keeper, or early access super, or cash flow boost if you're a business owner, anything like that, we'll analyze your situation and we'll let you notify you whether you're eligible. We'll also send you a step-by-step guide on how to apply. If you want to subscribe to this service, just simply email us at support@iBooksaccounting.com.au. You can also stay up to date by following our Facebook page by searching iBooks Accounting in the search bar. Like our page for updates, and we have been putting plenty of information there. There's already enormous amount of information on this different stimulus measures taken and announced by the government. We'll be releasing many more videos like this in future as well. So like our page to keep up to date. In future videos in this series, we got a few more topics to cover, mainly the cash flow boost for the business owner. Next one is a big one, which is most of the business owners are looking forward to. We will also include the instant asset write-off in that one. Job seeker payment, how you will be eligible, what is the criteria around those, and also how to vary your PAYG tax installments as well, to ease off the cash flow a little bit. And you got our number on this slide as well. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to call us on 07-355-77725. You can also email us on support@iBooksaccounting.com.au. And as always, stay safe, healthy, and we'll see you in the next video. Another reminder for integrity measures by the ATO. They are really strict on what they're doing. There are measures in place to catch those ones who are running the schemes there. So please be mindful on those who are just advertising this to be a scheme that pays $5,000 and you will get you $25,000 in cash flow boost or something like that. Just stay away from those people. If you're genuinely eligible, you will get these benefits. Just talk to your accountant. If you don't have any, you can always contact us as well. But stay away from those scammers. There'll be people coming up with this game, say, give us $5,000 and we'll get you this much money into your bank account. Please stay away from them. And please do not approach us for any dishonest claims as well. We do not support such behavior, and any such behavior will have to be reported to ATU as well. So we are here to help, no doubt. We are here to help. If you don't know how to do this, how to apply for it, if you don't know if you're eligible for any one of them, we're happy to talk. We're happy to advise you on whether you are eligible, how to access it, and things like that. But please do not submit any dishonest requests or fraudulent claims through us. We will not support that. Thank you again for staying along, and we'll see you in the next video.